Main Talk. Let's talk about hair. It's not your average conversation. It's not your average conversation about hair.
Welcome to another edition of Main Talk, Conversations About Hair, where every week all we do is talk about hair. I'm your host, Deshawn Bullard. For those who don't know me, I am a licensed cosmetologist, as well as the owner of Nurture's Perfect Hair Products and celebrity stylist. Today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of women are doing nowadays, which is wearing weave. I know everywhere I go, especially at church, I probably can count on all of my fingers and toes the number of women that wear weave. Now, it's not that we have a problem with weave, but we just really need to talk about how to keep our weave, how to maintain it, how to keep our hair healthy under the weave. So today we're going to be having this conversation with our co-host, Keisha. And Team Nurture Kai. But we also want to welcome to the stage one of Nurture salon and hair clinics team leaders, also known as the Weave Doctor, Tyrone White. Welcome to Main Talk, Tyrone.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Well, we know that many women have decided to wear weave for many reasons. The number one reason that we hear is because it's easier, that they don't have to comb it, that they can work out, they can swim, they can just do anything besides combing their own hair. But what I always say is hair is meant to be combed. And if you do not comb your hair, you will at some point run into issues with your hair. So many women wear weave that I hear people say you're gonna put them in the grave with their weave in their hair, because most women wear hair weave, 365 days of the year, 24 hours, which will be one of our producers who is wearing weave currently as we speak. But some women wear weave just because they have become addicted to weave, and people don't understand that weave is an addiction. We've also heard women say that they're going natural, but then they put a weave in their hair because they don't know what to do with their hair. So today what we want to do is kind of share some tips and talk about what are the best types of weave to wear in your hair, and really how long should you wear hair. So Tyrone, in your span, since you're the weave doctor, and you do a whole lot of weaves, what have you seen as the number one problem with women wearing weave?
The weaves being too tight and they're losing their edges.
Okay.
Or they have a weave. To me, the longest you should keep a weave in your hair is no more than a month and a half, because after that, you'll end up with locks like myself. But some people will keep a weave in their hair for 3 months, and then when you take their hair out and it's locked, and you say to them, well, all you can do is cut it off because this is locked. But they still, you get the hair loose, they put the weave back in, and they do the same thing over and over again. And sometimes when you get a weave, you put the weave in, but then you got to give your hair a chance to breathe and give it a break. Especially if people braid their hair too tight, you know, when you know better, you do better. And what was taught to me from my hair coach, who is Deshawn Bullard, even though I've been doing weaves for a long time, hair, in a certain stage, you know, your hair has a memory. It holds onto the hair, you know, it lives, it's born, it lives, and then it dies. Dying is when it sheds off. Your hair is supposed to naturally shed off. But if you continue to get a weave, and it's pulling, and it's pulling, and it's pulling, your body is saying, it's pulling. What am I to do? Am I to hold on to it, or am I to let it go? And a lot of times, if you do it constantly, your body is going to say, you don't want to be a part of me, so I'm going to let you go. So once they let you go, then it's going to keep letting go and keep letting go. Then that memory pattern is gone, and then you say, why is my hair coming out? How long have you been wearing weave?
Right.
How tight has the weave been?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's all in the install,
right,
which we call today.
Yes, the install. All right, Well, Tyrone shared some very good light on problems that we have with women wearing weave, especially with the hair dreading up. Most people don't understand that even when you're wearing weave, your hair is still growing. So when we comb our hair on a daily basis, hair sheds 80 to 100 hairs a day. Just because you're wearing weave, that doesn't mean that your hair is not shedding. It is still shedding. So what happens is, if you leave the weave in your hair for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, your hair is shedding, and then what happens is that shedded hair starts locking up. And when you come in to try to take it out at a salon, then sometimes we have to cut it out.
Shave it off.
Or even use some scissors to try to work our way through. You know, we try to use some different ways to manage the weave. So we wouldn't have to cut off all your hair, but it's real important to understand that you only should wear it for about 6 to 8 weeks.
Depending on someone else's hair texture, sometimes you only need it 4 weeks and then you take it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And as a consumer, I would like to know, and I'm sure it's probably a lot of people that like to know, which one's better, the glue or the braid?
I'm allergic to glue. Not literally, but I say that so when someone comes in and say, oh, I want my hair glued in, we are living in a new day, in a new age where that glue does not work. And you can see how much damage the glue can get, because some people can put glue in their hair, and when they take that out, that whole area where that glue is, that hair is gone. Sometimes it'll grow back, sometimes it won't. And once again, it depends on the person putting the glue in.
And then that glue that you use, that bonded glue, is latex. And there have been cases, actually medical cases, where people have become allergic to or had allergic reactions. Some people have died. So we really do have to take a real strong look at this whole weave thing. But I think more importantly for us, the reason why we again wanted to have this conversation is because we really need to get back to wearing our own hair. My philosophy is that weave is an addiction just like anything else. Whether you are a smoker or a drinker, weave becomes something that is addictive, because what happens is it's an unrealistic view of what your hair is supposed to look like. So even once you take the weave out, then the first thing you say is my hair is thin. In some cases, the hair has gotten thin, but in most cases,
it's already thin, and they just used to the bulk of that weave.
Natural texture. So now you want to be able to keep the weave in over and over again, and so we don't like, clients don't like their hair. But also, I always feel like it is sometimes I feel like it's a setup, because the longer you wear weave, it makes somebody else a lot of money. The people who are making the money behind all this $9 billion or $6 billion or whatever the numbers are now with weave, it's not our culture. We're always at the bottom of the barrel when it relates to hair and people wearing weave. The number one place where we make money in our community is in the salon, standing behind the chair. And to be honest, there's only so much hair you can do. You're not going to become a millionaire by standing behind a chair, sewing in hair or gluing in hair. I mean, you just won't happen. But the people who are making the money are the people who are selling the hair, which are the Koreans. And we had this going on over and over again. We walk into their store, we complain about them. Again, we complain about them walking and following you in the store.
They don't adjust the price.
Exactly. You can't ask them to change their prices. They follow you around the store, but yet you still go back in there
and reward their bad
behavior.
You're going to ask them for advice. And what they do is they're going to try to push the worst hair that been left in the store, and what long is, they'll tell you, this is better than this is just like ringing hair. And it be, they want to get rid of the hair, so they'll tell everybody the exact same thing. But you see time and time again, black women going to the counter and saying, what should I get for my hair? They're Korean.
And then once again, and not only that too, then a lot of stylists enslave themselves, because those Koreans own those salons, and they have little areas where the women are doing hair in there. And then once again, guess what? The phrase that Deshawn has always said was, we have given them what God gave us to make money.
I'm glad you reminded me of that, because that is what I said. The very thing I do believe that. The very thing that, I really believe from a spiritual standpoint, I do believe if we look at the things that we were born with naturally, this ground, we always hear for those who are church people, they say the money is in the land. As African American women or as African American people, if we just look inside, there's money that came with us through birth. And our hair is the very thing that people are making money off of. But we're not getting any of that money, any of it at all. We're born with kinky hair, some of us, We straighten our hair, we weave our hair, we braid our hair, we sew hair in, but how many of us out here are making money off of it? We're not. We're going away and giving it to somebody else. So we have to really take a real deep look inside of where all this is coming from, but more importantly, educate ourselves on how to take care of our hair. The Bible says a woman's hair is her crown of glory, which means that it's her covering. We not only have hair on our head, we have hair on our eyelashes to keep trash out of it. We have hair in our ears to keep trash out of it. We have hair in our nose because it's a covering to keep debris out of it. So if you are covering up your hair all the time, I say so many women may be depressed because they're losing their covering. Because now we are in an epidemic where so many women are losing their hair. And we do see some of it is heredity because it is generational. But this is what I have to say. Don't take the word heredity lightly. Women know in their family that they have breast cancer, but you do something about it early on. When you know that's what's going on, then you try to tackle the problem from the beginning. So if you know that you have these issues in your family, then start trying to address it early on. Find out research. But the answer is not to cover it up.
It's not.
All the time. It's not to cover it up. Now, it's okay, again, if you want to wear a cute little wig like, you know, Keisha. But Keisha, I want you to tell them your story about what happened with you with your weave. Because she was the weave queen. She was the weave queen.
And it was because, honestly, lazy. And then I was going to the gym, and then I'm like, I don't have time. When I leave the gym, I have to go to the salon. So I'm like, this workout better for me. You know, I'm blowing it in. You know, I'm with it. I'm telling you, real quick, fast, and hurry. But my hair literally came out, and I thought it was something wrong. But you know, now the doctor is telling me there's nothing medically wrong. I had to have an allergic reaction, which I was having an allergic reaction, but I ignored it. Because my neck was whipping up, my ears, and I was like, well, I can't use that hair no more. I just go get, you know, a different kind of hair. And my hair, I shampooed my hair, and my hair literally came out like in my hand, and which I know, which a lot of black women need to know, stress will make your hair fall out in your hand. And if you are stressed out, your hair will fall out. And I just went to the doctor, and she said that, you know, that is true. It's not just a saying. And she told me it had to be stress along with allergic reaction or something, because with like Deshawn, like, go to the thyroid check, you know, it was something, but it was actually, you know, it had to be the biggest cause was the stress. So, but now, you know, I could have been making my own wigs, doing the wigs instead of going it in. But, you know, I just want to look,
thing to do.
I want to look cute all the time for my husband. So, you know, but now I had to pay for it.
Right, exactly. That's the road. That's the road.
Don't say that.
Okay, but we have somebody here in the hot seat that wants to say something about this topic. State your name and then tell us what you're feeling about this topic.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Antavia Frazier. And I would like to say that, yes, I'm guilty of all of the above. Weaves are easy, convenient, I'm lazy. However, some women say I wear weave and wigs because it's a choice. My condition, I have alopecia, I have scar tissue from dermatitis psoriasis, and recently learned that I'm allergic to certain braiding hairs. And so that was taking my hair out. So for when the panel says you shouldn't cover your hair all the time, and now I am addicted because of the previous reasons that I stated, what can I do as an option to also keep my hair healthy? I do know, because Deshawn has taught me to keep my hair braided. I do take it down weekly, get it washed, and re-braid it underneath. I am natural. However, I continue to wear wigs. It does make me feel better because I don't have the option of wearing my hair out because of the scar tissue. So what are different options that I have to still be happy wearing my colors, long, short hair, but I have an issue with my scalp?
That's a very good question.
Well, you know, in today's world, you can get you some pretty scarves and make them really pretty with knots and things of that nature, where you don't always have to wear a wig. That way you can give your scalp a chance to breathe. You know what I mean? You can coordinate your head wraps with your dress attire. So that's an option right there.
And also with the wigs, we do understand that you are going to have to wear the wigs. But if we understand even the fabric that the wigs are made out of, that can also have an impact to take your hair out more as well. But do you take hair vitamins? Because I think I asked you that before. A lot of people don't want to take anything internally, but I always say, if you catch a cold, you can't put vitamin C on your arm. You have to, healthy hair begins inside. And you do want to take things that are that have like DHT blockers, that have biotin, folic acid, grapeseed, green tea, all of these things that will help us internally, because everything that helps us with your hair externally starts inside first. I think that's the biggest thing for most women to understand, that healthy hair does begin inside.
And then a lot of
you gotta wear the wigs. I mean, you look cute too. You have
and they're acceptable.
Yes,
and you know, it used to be that people were shamed. You know, that's like, nah, I got on a wig.
Right.
You know, and they're like, you look how cute, it's a wig.
Right.
You know, we're not shamed anymore, but it used to be hush hush.
But the thing about it is that because you have to wear it, one thing I always tell women is that the good thing is that we do have great hair technology now, that we can wear wigs to make us look nice and they look real. But I would suggest that as soon as you get home, take it off, allow your hair to breathe, make sure you do steam conditioning treatments on your scalp to make sure that it's not dry. But you definitely have to feed your body internally with everything else that's going on.
I pull my wig off in the truck.
I pull my hair off every day. There was a stylist that would try to do my hair. I made her take my entire hairstyle out when she finished, because I told her specifically, I need to take it off. When I'm in the car riding home, open the sunroof to let my scalp get some sun and stuff. I'm very comfortable with my condition now. It's nothing that I'm ashamed of. And I think that once I got control of what I have, and I'm like, okay, this is me, I embraced it, and I still love myself, that yes, I am addicted to wigs because I like different styles and things like that. I can play around with it. However, now that I have the control, I'm not ashamed of it, and I can still walk around. I'll take my hair off and I go swimming at LA Fitness when I take my classes and things like that. So it's not that I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing to take care of my hair, because I still have hair that needs to be healthy.
Well, the main thing is too, a lot of times with people, even when your hair grows in and it grows in slowly, or it chooses to grow in, most of our clients, because before they come and get any weave service, we have to give them consultation. We ask them, you know, when was the last time you've been to the doctor? When did you get a makeup? What are you doing at home? You know, what really is going on? And all they say is this: I know that my hair is not going to be as thick as it was when I was 12 years old. I just want my hair back. You know what I mean? So that's a big factor too. And then a lot of people don't know that it is healthy ways of wearing weave. It's just not braiding your whole head up and sewing braids to your hair. We have so many different techniques and so many different methods for weaves, but once again, it's all about your education. You know, you can be a hairstylist for 30 years, but you still got to go back, because guess what they did 15 years ago, they don't do today. And a lot of times people get stuck in the same thing, doing the same thing, and this is where, you know, you get all this hair loss and people going through stress, like, she did this to my hair. She really didn't do it. You were watching her do what she did. You know what I mean? And at the same time, you see her that one time for that service. But those 30-something days in between, if you're not coming in, or even 2 weeks, you know what your hair is doing. So you have to go to that stylist and say, this is what's going on. I don't think this is working for me. But at the same time, there's no communication with the stylist and the actual client, because that stylist just wants to make that money. And it's not about that.
Can I ask you a question? You started out by saying that you're guilty of all of the above. So at what age did you start wearing weave, really, and becoming addicted to it and wearing it a lot?
At age 18, I started wearing weaves because it was cute, and my friends were doing it in high school. I graduated at 17, so my first year of college I started doing it. I had my son at 21. I had micro braids in for the second time ever in my life. And I took them out and my hair didn't come back. And so I started seeing different scalp issues, scabs, burning, itching, and that's when I was diagnosed with dermatitis psoriasis.
Okay.
After that, I started going to the dermatologist. They said that because of the scar tissue in my hair, my follicles were dead. So then I saw a patch in the very crown of my hair. And I started wearing the wigs because the wigs were uncomfortable.
Okay.
So I stopped going to the dermatologist and just began to seek out someone to be a hair care provider and not just a stylist.
Right.
And that's when I was introduced to your salon to see someone that is a hair care professional and not just a stylist. Because by then I was addicted to the quickness and the convenience of weaves and wigs. And then so I was like, okay, this is great. However, I've been in the Air Force 14 years now. So going out on different deployments, and that's another thing with the Army and things like that, not allowed to wear weaves and things anymore. When I'm going out, I need something that I can take care of because I'm not always in a plush 5-star hotel. That's what they think because I'm in the Air Force.
Right.
Sometimes I go in the field and I'm in a tent
Right.
and there's hard water. I need to be able to take care of my hair as well under those conditions.
Right.
So those are the things that I was running into that kind of hindered what I was trying to start. I would have to stop and start over again, stop and start over again with my actual hair care process.
Right. Well, I'm glad, thank you for sharing your story with us. Well, I'm glad that she brought up a very important point, and that was the reason why I asked her to kind of find out at what age did she start wearing it, because she said that she was allergic to the canacolline fiber. So I wanted to find out at what age she started wearing the hair extensions, because a lot of women who wear weave, including our producer, they put that canacolline fiber in their hair and they just don't know that they're allergic to it. And they think just because they don't have an allergic reaction such as breaking out in the face or breaking out with webs all over that they're not allergic. But one way to tell that you're allergic could just be simply, like you said, your hair could be falling out. One sure sign is itching. Your scalp itches all the time. Did you experience that? It's just itching all the time. And so as it relates to hair weave, it's okay to wear weave sometimes, but you do need to give your hair a break. Make sure you seek a beauty consultant, a professional consultant about your hair weave, and give your hair a break, because the best way to wear your hair is wear your own hair. Now it's time for us to give away another great product. And this time we're not going to pull numbers. Sorry. But we got something for everybody, so it doesn't make a difference. We do have something for everybody. But we have had a couple men in the audience, but we have one man that has been sitting on the front really just like cheering us on the whole time. So today we're going to choose him as the winner of the NeuroTrust Perfect Hair Products for Men Healthy Hair Growth Pack. If you are a man who is experiencing hair thinning, hair shedding, or hair breakage, don't go bald unless you want to. Use NeuroTrust Perfect Hair Vitamins Plus for men. That also will help your hair from receding and from balding. Continue this with our stimulating scalp therapy for men, as well as use conditioners, because most men don't use conditioners. Use the leave-in conditioner and follow up with the NeuroTrust for Men Shea Butter Hair Moisturizer, so that you too can have healthy hair and a healthy scalp. Because remember, you don't have to go bald unless you want to.
Let's talk about hair. It's not your average conversation. It's not your average conversation about hair.